we doing?
We're gonna go negotiate a price on a new Tesla Model S Plaid. This is a little different spec than what I wanted. I wanted white on white. This is black on black. It has the extra rims on it, looks like. We're good at the 170 and just get it done?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're gonna run to the bank right now, get them some money, and take this thing home today. How well do you think this will do in the water?
Underwater test complete. We are go for
Tesla Service Center. Well, cat's out of the bag. I might as well just tell everybody. So, you guys were not here. I didn't have anybody record it, but they called me the other day and they're like, because we took the Tesla and it was immobilized. The software was like kind of not compatible with the new update. They looked in the service record and apparently when I called in, they tagged the location and they did an extra due diligence and found a video of it driving underwater. So cat's out the bag, they knew all about it, and they're like, it's basically ruined and we're not gonna work on it. I firmly disagreed with them. I don't believe that the car is water damaged as bad as they say. And they're treating it like it was like flooded, like it was flooded in a parking lot, you know, in Louisiana during a hurricane. So that's not the case. I mean, everything that kind of got wet was on the outside primarily, and all the electronics and things on the inside were fairly well protected. So I just don't know what they're talking about. I think they kind of saw the video, just jumped on that bandwagon, like, oh my God, it's got flood, and that's what our policy is, and we don't, it's not under warranty anymore. But the guys, the crazy part about this is why I'm fighting so hard is like, I'll pay for all the repairs. I don't really care. I know what I was doing. I know what I got myself into. The problem is that they can ban it from all superchargers. Can you imagine buying a new car and because you did some stunt with it, they didn't like it. They thought it was now unsafe because you decided to modify it, and they also control all the gas stations. So they're like, no, you can't put fuel in anymore. It's dangerous. So you could never drive anywhere and put gas in your car again. You'd have to just do it at your house. So that to me is the biggest problem. So now they're saying that their engineers are gonna go through it, Tesla engineers are gonna go through it, but you never know. I mean, they could find some stuff, you know, where they could see a lot of problems that built up over the last couple months when it was sitting. I don't know. So that's the current state of the Tesla. 82% battery, she's still alive, 4,200 miles. Today we're actually up here at Gerber Collision. A fan of the YouTube channel and some other stuff, she reached out and said, hey, I work at Gerber Collision. We have a Tesla certified tech here, and we're also certified by Tesla as a body shop to fix and repair them. You should bring it up here. I thought, okay, well, fantastic. Let's just do that right when we got home. So that's why she's still looking pretty dirty from the road trip. And right now, we just need to unload her and drop her off. It's gonna take them a few days to get to it. They're waiting on a new module or new connector to connect into these Plaids, but I guess it's in the mail. It should be here in a few days. So hopefully next week, they'll be able to plug directly into it and start running diagnostics and figure out exactly what modules have failed, if the computer has issues, if the motor has issues. We'll then take it over to Tesla and have them do what they need to do. Mainly I'm thinking main computer, maybe some harnesses, stuff that they have a hard time getting here, and you know, motors. If we have to get into that, I hope we don't. I think they should be fine driving thousands of miles with the car after it went underwater. Should be testament that we didn't, you know, destroy it with water in the drive lines and in the motors and stuff. So right now, I say we just unload this girl and get her over there. Yeah, I can pull around and just go in the back corner over there?
Yeah, we'll go in the very back corner, right next to the dumpsters, just backing in that stall.
By the dumpsters?
I'll park it by the dumpster.
Park it by the dumpster.
She's a real beaut, Clark, I'm telling you.
Just as good.
If I come back and you're like, sorry, it's in the shredder, I totally understand. You know, it's funny, guys, like, such a smart car, but such a kind of a dumb car. I mean, I gotta give it to Tesla. They kind of put a lot of fail-safes in, but then they also have the fail-safes that it can drive even though it doesn't have everything plugged in. I mean, look at the door, right? Like, you think this electronically advanced car can just be opened by this, and all the doors are not hooked up. This whole center console, it tells you, center console's not there. That's where you got to put your key normally if you don't have your phone hooked up. The only thing that this car knows that I'm inside the car is when I hit the brake. That's the only thing, and it does allow me to drive. But then the airbag's unplugged and everything. It doesn't like bug me to put my seatbelt on. It's shocking that this car will literally drive around as just a tin can. There's nothing to it right now. And it's completely watertight now. That's the other great thing. No water getting in here. Wow, I know, it's just like you're at home. You fit right in. Don't worry, I'll lock you. We finally got the old Tesla submarine back from Gerber Collision. We had to take it there because Tesla refused to work on the car. They said that it was unsafe to work on as an electrical hazard. They said, you're gonna need to tow this away to a collision shop and get it looked at. So what I promptly did was drive it home, load it on a trailer and sent it out to Florida for Sick Week, which you guys all saw us racing and having a good time out there. Now it did have its glitches, like I always, been showing and saying, talking about. The last night ended up with a big kick in the pants.
If there was a button I could press.
Elon sent the kill code on the last run, and old girl decided to shut down and ruin everybody's night, and nobody else got to race after us. It was just a big shit show. So after that, we packaged her up and said we got to get her fixed. Brought her back home, and that's when Gerber Collision came into play. We were waiting on a couple months for some parts, and at the end of the day, they replaced the, let's see what it's called, SRS module. It's $415, and apparently that's been explained to me as like a black box that recorded some sort of incident, and they couldn't get the car to wake up or do anything, that was basically locking it out. The fix was just take it out and put it in a new one, and then the car won't know what happened to it, and you get back on the road again. And it worked. I thought it'd be much more technical than that. Apparently they had the software and the right cables to plug in, and it was all good to go. Now, they also had to do a recall. Some front switch wake-up wire was bad that they had to recall, and that they had to fix that, and maybe a couple other little recalls, but it was just software stuff. It still will not communicate GPS. It won't communicate and do a real software update. It still thinks it's August, and it still thinks we're out at the racetrack when we did our underwater stunt. Now, though, the car is running again. It has regen. It has full traction control and a few other things. I did a couple test hits. It was fast, don't get me wrong, guys, but I definitely felt it pulling back some power. Sometimes it pulled back power so much. From a full launch in cheetah mode, it did a 3.5 0 to 60. The best I could do was like a 2.3, and we've seen guys go down to almost a 1.9 on the street. So I was a little discouraged with that, and we're still working out some things. So now we got a clean bill of health. It says, vehicle fully inspected for any electrical hazards and has been deemed safe to work on with proper safety equipment. HV charging system works and no drivability issues that could be found. So they did not find any corrosion. They didn't find anything that was that bad. They just found that they needed to replace that black box that recorded an accident when we were in the water. I really felt it was that movement with the wheels spinning. It didn't like it. And we got those codes kicked out, and we still have them plaguing us to today. So hopefully we'll be able to get into Tesla and leave it with them for the next few days. They'll do a software update and clear some of those codes that only they can do. And we'll get the submarine back in the water where she belongs. And to keep it extra simple for Tesla at this point, we went ahead and left it completely gutted. We had to put in the center console so that they can put the key in and drive. It needs that. I have 2 seats there, so a couple technicians can go for rides if they would like. Get a full test without flopping around in the Kirky race seats. And all the wires and all the connections are exposed. So if an electrical fire does start, they can pinpoint right where it comes from, like right away. Get the fire extinguisher on it and save her. Not that I would want her to burn or just kind of go away forever and then start a new one. But no, I love this one. She's the old girl. She's the old submarine, the OG, the most famous underwater Tesla out there. And other than that, we're gonna run her in right now. She drives amazing, guys. I have to tape up the doors because we have a few little air gaps with our Lexan windows and some other stuff we kind of threw together. So actually, guys, I really want to show you something. One big thing, it's kind of been controversial. I posted a few little posts on my TikTok and online, is we got the regen back. And what I said was, without regen, these brakes are terrible. These brakes are terrible with regen. No matter what Tesla's trying to say, no matter what all you Tesla lovers say about the brakes and the engineering of this car, they were completely under-engineered. What you see here is more brake dust caked around and inside the rim than actual brake pads. We got them so hot on that last race week that we were blowing out sparks. And you say, oh, Shy, well, maybe you put 10,000, 15, 20,000 miles on the car. 4,000 miles. The first 1,000 had regen. Yeah, we tracked it a few times and some other stuff, which they did overheat on us. And I blew through a couple turns where I couldn't even brake. Full fake brake failure, not just brake fade. Then the regen went away with the Underwater Stunt. And after that, ate them up and within 3,000 miles. The front and the rear are both shot. They're both down to the wears. I really don't care about these brakes. I'm ready to swap out the fronts with some insane carbon ceramics from Unplugged. They've just been sitting on the shelf. I just think that anybody that drives a spirited 1,000 horsepower, 5,000 pound car is gonna be woefully under impressed with these brakes, and they're actually very dangerous. So I definitely don't see these staying around after this generation, and they're gonna definitely need to do a brake upgrade for real and not charge us 20 grand to do it. So that's the deal with the brakes. Oh, other people also said, look how big your rims and tires are. These tires and rims are the exact same diameter as the stock ones because they do definitely care how big the tires and rims are. Extremely light wheels from Signature wheels, but they're like 20 pounds, I think, almost per corner lighter than the stock setup. They did an amazing job fine-tuning these. 19s on the front, and we actually got 18s on the rear. 275, 45, 18s. And we had to just trim down a banjo bolt, and you have all the clearance you need to get an 18 on there and get that fat, nice, meaty tire for launching. But other than that, that's kind of what we've been dealing with. That's the update on the brakes, the car. Now it's time to go to Tesla and see what they say. All right, guys, time to go in and say hello to my Tesla friends. What are you staring at?
I like the customization.
I don't think you can get more custom than that.
No.
Well, that was fun. I was literally talking to the manager that whole time. I had no idea he was the main guy. So he was like down. He's like, cool, man, this is hilarious. This is awesome. Completely different vibe than what we felt last time. I guess their main guy is gonna jump on it and start doing the best they can to get codes cleared. They're worried about airbags and seatbelt codes and stuff like that, triggering certain things. Quite honestly, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. I told them too to go through it. If they see anything weird, like I wanna find out, I want it fixed. I want the computer fixed if that's a problem, if there's a module or whatever. So we'll see. Let's go, Tesla. Let's go.